Welcome to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Bonati alongside Ethan Youker and world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati. We have an exciting show lined up and a lot to get to. Let's get started. So adoption is often painted as a beautiful act where a baby finds a family and lives happily ever after. But a new heart-wrenching memoir delves into the dark, often traumatic side of adoption. Joining us to discuss is Janet Sherlund, author of Abandoned at Birth, Searching for the Arms That Once Held Me. Welcome to the show, Janet.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Certainly. Now, it's impossible to tell your story in 10 minutes, but for the 5 million adoptees in this country, it's important to hear. So can you briefly explain your journey?
Yes, I was born and adopted in the 1950s, and most of us adopted in the 50s through the 70s were adopted under the practice of closed adoption. So all connection to or knowledge of our heritage, our authentic identity, our past, our origin story was completely erased. Our adoptive parents had their names put on our birth certificates, and we were given false identities. We were given the identity of our adoptive family. And the general consensus was that love was enough, that babies were blank slates, and that we should be grateful for the lives we were given. Two things can be true at once, and we can be grateful for our adoption placement, and we can have been traumatized by having been given away and abandoned at birth.
How old were you when you were adopted?
I was 5 weeks old. I had been in foster care from the time I was born. My birth mother never looked at me or wanted anything to do with me. And then I was placed by an agency with my adoptive family the following month.
How did you find out you were adopted in the first place?
We were always told. It was never a secret. My parents adopted 4 children, and it was part of our bedtime story. We didn't talk about how that felt or what that meant, but we knew that we had been adopted. And in fact, my younger sister is 7 years younger than me, and I remember going with my family to pick her up at the agency. So I actually, witnessed that. One of the things people who haven't been adopted find it hard to understand is that babies remember losing their birth parent. Even a child put in an incubator, that sudden disconnect from the voice you've been hearing in utero and the motions you've been feeling and the smells and the tastes and all of that, when that suddenly is stopped, you're born and taken away from that and never reunited with that familiar sense of life and safety, there's a real trauma. Yeah. There's an almost instinctive drive to try and reconnect with your origins, so that birth parent, to kind of make you whole again.
From, say, the child's perspective, I don't think I would even want to know. Of course, that's me just, saying what I think inside. But what made you want to find out?
I don't know. I think everyone is different, and we process trauma differently. One of my brothers always said growing up, I don't want to know. I don't care. Mom and dad are our parents. And about a month ago, we're now in our 60s. A month ago, he said, I only said that because I thought if they don't want me, to heck with them. I don't want them either. He said, but that was defensive. That wasn't true. And he said, I wish I had searched. One thing I can tell you is that as adoptees, we feel so disconnected. Even if you're in a happy placement, there's something different about you. You do not feel the same with people who you don't share blood with than you do with people you do share blood with. And I learned that when I met my birth family late in life. You don't share reactions, patterns, looks. You wonder where you're from. You feel like you've been dropped out of the sky. And that big black hole forms inside of you instead of a sense of self. You don't have the normal development of seeing yourself mirrored with your family. You're not gaining from the heritage that's come down through generations of habits and instincts. And I felt that so much and was just driven to try and repair that primal wound, it's called, by finding what was my story? Where did I come from? What's my ethnicity? Why do I have blue eyes and a pug nose? I just was driven to try and find out who I authentically was, so I could then integrate that with who I was through my adoption. So there are two sides of you when you're adopted. But nature is, in my experience, the primary determination of who you are, not nurture.
Who was the person that you were looking? You were looking at your mother Your father? Both? What?
For some reason, I only thought about my birth mother. I really didn't think about my birth father. And it turned out that he actually didn't know he had fathered me at age 18. And back when I was born, fathers weren't involved at all. There was no legal requirement for them to sign off on an adoption or placement. They had no rights whatsoever. And ironically, it turned out that the first parent, she refused to meet me when I found her years later. And my birth father was told that he had fathered this child. And his response is, if she has my blood, she's my daughter. Of course I want to meet her. And it was a transformative reunion. Just filled my life up immediately without even, it was so biological. It was so cellular. I didn't know two things about this man, but in that moment of looking into his eyes, that big black hole in me filled up, and I felt like I had come back to my people, to my clan. It's the most amazing physical feeling to be reunited with your genuine, authentic biological family.
There's still 40 states that where adoption records are still sealed.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Mine were, there are 40 states that still have legislatures deciding whether or not human beings can know their authentic identity. It's amazing. I'm 69 years old. My birth and adoptive parents are all dead now, and my records are still sealed in the state of New Jersey.
I understand there's some federal adoption laws that are currently being considered. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
There's a real movement out there. Online, you can go, and there's a huge community out there fighting for adoptee rights and for recognition. And I really applaud so much of the work that's being done, and I'm very glad that people are speaking their truths and trying to bring the adoptee perspective instead of simply the wants and needs of biological and adoptive parents.
Well, thank you so much, Janet Sherlund, author of Abandoned at Birth, Searching for the Arms That Once Held Me, and discussing such a tender situation, but an extremely important one. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Take great care.
Thank you.
We'll be back after the break. You are watching American Medicine Today.
The loss of coordination in my legs, I'd trip over my feet, end up flat in the concrete. Dr. Bonati to me was God sent. Walk like that in a while. I don't remember how long. I didn't have to make a massive lifestyle change. I noticed today that I could sit and stand up without a cane. I would have to give it excellent and above my expectations.
Visit AskBonati.com. Robert is a motocross enthusiast, but a bad accident on his bike left him suffering in pain for decades.
I've raced motocross from probably I was 17 to 22. Broke a lot of bones racing motocross. How I hurt my back was I crashed on a dirt bike doing some big long jumps and just didn't make it. So it was pretty traumatic. Kept me in bed for 2 weeks without being able to move, go to the bathroom or anything. It was terrible. Lots of pain. So it's been over 25 years that I've been dealing with some pain with the back problem in the lower leg.
Robert's severe pain started in his low back and radiated down into his leg. This made it a challenge for him to live his athletic lifestyle, as even everyday activities like walking became difficult.
Most of the time when I get laid up with the pain, it goes just down my leg and makes my back hurt. I can't bend over. My muscles tighten where I walk sideways. I can't walk straight and level like most people do. I'm walking on an angle where I almost need a cane.
He tried a number of conservative treatments such as ice, over-the-counter medications, and chiropractic care.
Anytime I get in my truck, I turn the heated seats on, and I've had chiropractic care for the last 25 years where they've just kind of kept me moving around, I would say.
Searching for an end to his pain, Robert went to see a local surgeon, and they recommended a spinal fusion.
The last doctor I went to 6 months ago told me he could put rods in my back and plates and kind of screw my bones together and kind of tighten it up, and I told him no way.
Still in pain, Robert went back to his chiropractor, and they suggested he search for alternatives to traditional open back surgery.
He told me basically the last chiropractor I go to is a friend of mine. He says, I can't heal you. you really need to go look at talking to these people.
Based on this advice, he went on the internet and found the Bonati Spine Institute.
And actually, there's a couple people in my area that had it done. They came here and had good success. So I said, if they've had the success and what it said online, I'm going to try it out. I actually got them an MRI I had done last year, sent it to them. They reviewed it, and they said, you would probably be a good candidate.
At the Bonati Spine Institute, patients undergo a thorough evaluation, including blood work, a physical exam, and if needed, MRIs and X-rays are performed at the on-site imaging center. A surgeon then goes over the images with the surgical guest just a few minutes later.
Everybody on the staff was very helpful and real nice, and I feel like I was getting a checkup for everything. My EKG, blood work, I guess they were checking my kidneys, all that. And then I had to get an MRI where they really checked the main areas and found out where my damage was on my back. And the doctors were real knowledgeable.
The white stuff is cerebrospinal fluid, so that's basically water. And the rest of these things are the nerve roots trailing down.
Okay. We did the MRI on site here at Bonati. It was great. We just walked right across to the other building and went in there and got it done the same day. They came back and read it to me within an hour, and that's pretty amazing because most of the time you get an MRI done, you have to wait a couple days before you can get anything, so that was pretty cool.
The patented Bonati Spine procedures are performed using conscious IV sedation. This reduces the risks associated with traditional anesthesia. While in a twilight state of awareness, patients are kept comfortable and able to communicate with their surgeon.
I got right up right after, drank some water. The ladies got me up and walked me, make sure everything was good. So it was pretty cool that I just got right up after having some back surgery. Oh yeah, I could tell there's a difference there. My right leg felt a lot stronger too.
All of the Bonati Spine procedures are performed on an outpatient basis, meaning there is no hospital stay. In addition, no braces or physical therapy are required after surgery. Instead, patients are told to walk a few times a day.
We had the surgery done. We went back to a hotel, didn't have to stay on site. So when I left Bonati Spine Institute, I basically could just walk out the door. I didn't have to deal with any back braces or canes. I wasn't walking crooked, I'm walking straight.
Now out of pain, Robert is excited to return to his active lifestyle and recommends the Bonati Spine Institute to anyone in search of permanent pain relief.
It's a great place to go. I highly recommend it. To come to Bonati, the staff was great, everybody was great. The facility was cleanest place I've been to in a hospital type state. I've never seen, everybody was great, so I highly recommend them.
To see more stories of recovery just like this, search for the Bonati Spine Institute on YouTube, Rumble, Apple's App Store, Google's Play Store, Roku, and Amazon's Fire TV. Well, that wraps up this edition of American Medicine Today. If you would like to see another episode of our program, add us to your streaming channel lineup. Search keyword AMT. If you have any comments or questions, contact us at the numbers below. Or you can tweet at Dr. Bonati using the hashtag American Medicine Today or hashtag AMT. We would like to hear from you.